It's already one of the most dangerous spiders in the world, and tonight a funnel web found in Newcastle is making history.
Yes! Some arachnids kill so quickly that their victims never even struggle, collapsing within seconds as venom races through their bodies. In remote rainforests, open deserts, and even inside ordinary homes, there are species capable of shutting down a nervous system with one bite so powerful that doctors compare its effects to being struck by lightning from the inside.
They are dangerous. Arguably, they are one of the most venomous spiders in the world.
Some can stop a heartbeat. Others can liquefy tissue before the prey even hits the ground. These 20 arachnids are not rare monsters from distant places. They are closer than anyone wants to believe. Number 20. Wolf spider. Nature has designed many ways to die, but few are as terrifying as the paralyzing bite of a wolf spider. This predator belongs to a massive family of arachnids that has more than 2,400 species spread across nearly every continent. Thick bodies, powerful legs, and sharp vision make them built for pursuit rather than traps. Instead of spinning silk to weight, wolf spiders move. They stalk across soil and leaf litter, sensing vibrations through the ground. When prey comes close, they surge forward at speeds reaching about 2 feet per second. 8 dark eyes arranged in 3 rows lock onto insects, small arthropods, and at times, even tiny vertebrates.
This is probably like the apex predator of the invertebrate world out here. I don't know that there's any invertebrates that could take this down.
The attack is fast and final. A sudden bite delivers venom packed with neurotoxic and cytotoxic compounds. Muscles seize, movement stops. Inside the victim, tissues begin to break down almost immediately. For small insects, paralysis often takes hold within seconds, leaving no chance to escape. As enzymes spread, the prey's internal structure turns liquid, allowing the spider to feed with efficiency. Full digestion follows in minutes, but the outcome is decided almost instantly. For humans, bites usually mean brief pain and swelling. For prey, the encounter ends life quickly, making wolf spiders silent regulators of insect populations across their ecosystems worldwide today, silently. Number 19. Yellow sac spider. Most insects never see the yellow sac spider coming until the venom is already flowing through their veins. This spider does not bother with the intricate silk traps that most people associate with its kind. Instead, the nocturnal predator roams across walls and through thick foliage like a restless ghost. It relies on a pair of elongated front legs, which it waves through the air to detect the slightest vibrations from a potential victim. When it finally senses a target, the spider launches an ambush with terrifying speed and precision. The strike happens in a flash as the spider sinks its robust fangs into its quarry. It immediately injects a venomous mixture that combines cytotoxic and neurotoxic elements which are specifically engineered to shut down a nervous system. Within seconds, a struggling insect finds itself completely paralyzed and unable to crawl away. This rapid immobilization is vital for the spider because it often hunts dangerous prey which can fight back, including larger insects and even other spiders. As the victim lies frozen, the predator begins the gruesome task of external digestion by liquefying the internal tissues of the creature. While the bite causes localized pain for humans, it represents a perfect, high-speed execution for the small inhabitants of the night. Number 18. Katipo spider. A single wrong step in soft sand of New Zealand's coastline can trigger a death sentence measured in seconds. Near the ground, hidden beneath driftwood and tangled grass, a venomous hunter waits. This is the Katipo spider, the only native venomous spider found in New Zealand. It is a predator that survives through precision, patience, and speed. Its messy web sits low, stretched across dunes where beetles, flies, moths, and small crustaceans wander without caution. The moment an insect brushes against the sticky threads, the trap springs to life. Vibrations ripple through the silk. And following this, the spider rushes forward, pivots its body, and begins throwing strands of adhesive silk using comb-shaped bristles on its back legs. In seconds, the prey is wrapped tight, locked in place with no chance of escape. Once the victim is bound and unable to move, the spider delivers several precision bites into the leg joints of the insect. It injects a lethal neurotoxin known as alpha-latrotoxin, which causes the nervous system of the prey to collapse under a flood of neurotransmitters. This chemical assault triggers total paralysis in mere seconds. This combination of silk restraint and fast-acting venom allows the Katipo to overpower victims far larger than itself with minimal risk. It avoids humans and bites rarely, but habitat loss and invasive species now threaten its survival. Number 17. The Indian red scorpion.
So guys, there is the Indian red scorpion, otherwise known as the Hottentotta tumulus.
In the humid heat of the Indian countryside, a tiny shadow shifts beneath a jagged stone. You might walk right past it without a second thought. But for the insects crawling nearby, this small crevice is the entrance to a slaughterhouse. The Indian red scorpion is a nightmare of biological engineering. It avoids the blistering sun by burying itself in soil or hiding in rural dwellings. As night falls across Pakistan and Nepal, this predator emerges to wait in total stillness. It does not rely on sight to find its next meal. Instead, it uses ultra-sensitive hairs which are on its legs to feel the vibrations of life moving through the ground. When a cricket or a small lizard wanders within reach, the scorpion lunges with explosive speed. It locks onto the victim with slender pincers, holding it in a grip which cannot be broken. In one fluid motion, the thick tail arches over its head to deliver a needle-sharp sting. The telson, that bulbous end of the tail, pumps a lethal cocktail of neurotoxins directly into the bloodstream of the prey. These chemicals carry a precise mix of neurotoxins that interfere with sodium and potassium channels in nerves. Signals fire too long, muscles spasm, control disappears. Insects and small animals enter a brief phase of violent excitation before their bodies collapse into limp paralysis. This shift often happens in seconds, sometimes stretching to minutes, but escape never follows. If movement continues, the scorpion strikes again. Multiple stings are not wasted effort. Each one ensures the fight ends quickly. Once stillness takes hold, digestion begins outside the body as enzymes break tissue down into liquid.
It's said that these spiders have one of the worst bites in the world, capable of causing tissue damage in more than half of cases.
This system allows a relatively small hunter to defeat stronger prey without prolonged struggle, saving energy in hot, humid environments. For invertebrates, the outcome is swift and final. Number 16. The mouse spider. If you could see through the dirt of the Australian plains, you would find a network of tunnels inhabited by a fast-acting killer. The mouse spider spends most of its life hidden, motionless, sensing the world through faint vibrations above its trapdoor entrance. But one careless step is enough. When an insect or small vertebrate crosses the wrong patch of soil, the attack is instant. The trapdoor bursts open and the spider surges upward with precise force. Powerful fangs sink in as neurotoxic venom floods the body. There is no prolonged struggle. Signals between nerves and muscles collapse almost immediately. Limbs stiffen. Movement stops within seconds. This venom works fast for a reason. The mouse spider often faces prey larger than itself, and hesitation could mean injury or death. By shutting down the nervous system at once, it keeps control from the first strike. Paralysis follows so quickly that escape never develops into a possibility. Once the prey is still, feeding begins without risk. The spider drags its victim back into the burrow, safe from rivals and scavengers. This underground method turns patience into an advantage and speed into a weapon. While this venom is primarily meant to destroy invertebrates, its similarity to the world's deadliest arachnids makes it a serious threat to people as well. Human bites can be dangerous as their venom contains delta-miscelinatoxins, which can trigger a cascade of physical failure, including intense muscle spasms, vomiting, and a racing heart. However, antivenom has proven effective. But for prey, there is no treatment. The outcome is decided almost as soon as the trapdoor opens. Number 15. The brown recluse spider. The brown recluse spider is a small creature that values its privacy above all else. Yet its presence often sparks a primal fear across the southern and central United States.
The recluse spiders are among the most infamous in the world. They're tan, boring-looking spiders that prefer to stick to dry, tucked-away spaces.
From the plains of Nebraska down to the heat of Texas and over toward the hills of Georgia, This spider makes its home in the places humans forget to clean. They are tiny, with bodies measuring between 0.24 and 0.47 inches. But their reputation is massive. If you look closely at the head area, you might see a dark, violin-shaped mark with its neck pointing toward the tail. This unique signature has earned them the name fiddleback. They don't build beautiful, symmetrical webs to catch flies. Instead, they spin messy, irregular silk retreats in dry spots, which includes cardboard boxes, old shoes, or wood piles. When darkness falls, they emerge from these hideouts to hunt for cockroaches and crickets. When an unsuspecting prey brushes against its silk, the response is immediate. The spider moves in close and bites once. Venom enters the body in an instant. That venom works on multiple levels. It contains a protein called sphingomyelinase D, which can actually dissolve cell membranes. In addition to this, neurotoxic and blood-damaging components interfere with normal function.
The recluse spiders seem to have kind of forgotten about the neurotoxic aspect for the most part.
Within seconds, the prey weakens. Paralysis follows quickly. Tissue damage starts early, making resistance impossible and feeding safe. The spider does not rush. The outcome is already decided. Against insects, this system is brutally effective. Against humans, encounters are uncommon and usually happen by accident when skin presses against the spider. Most bites heal without serious problems, though some cases develop slow-healing wounds due to the cytotoxic effect. Number 14. Death Stalker Scorpion. Deep within the scorched dunes of North Africa, a pale shadow waits beneath the sand. It does not hunt by sight, but by the thrum of movement through the earth. This is the Death Stalker Scorpion. It is a master of the silent ambush that transforms a simple desert walk into a lethal trap for any passing insect. Using microscopic hairs on its limbs, it tracks the vibrations of a beetle or cricket until the distance closes. In less than a blink, a curved stinger pierces flesh and venom floods the body in seconds. The venom contains a mixture of neurotoxins such as cilatoxin and chlorotoxin. These molecules are incredibly small, allowing them to flood the prey's circulatory system with terrifying speed. They target the nervous system directly by locking down ion channels and severing the connection between the brain and the body. Paralysis is immediate. The victim is frozen alive and is unable to twitch a single leg as the scorpion begins the process of crushing the body with its jagged mouth parts. For a human, the experience is like receiving high-voltage shocks through the skin. While a healthy adult might survive the agonizing pain and convulsions, the elderly and children face a much darker fate. Paradoxically, the same toxin which destroys prey is now being studied in labs to hunt down cancer cells, proving that the desert's most efficient killer holds secrets that might one day save us. Number 13. The Chilean recluse. One small brown spider holds the title for the most lethal venom in its entire family tree. Known to locals as the corner spider, the Chilean recluse is a nightmare found in woodpiles and closets across South America, and its speed is its greatest weapon. It is a predator that does not sit patiently in a sticky web for a meal to stumble by. Instead, it stalks the darkness on 8 long, slender legs. When this hunter finds its target, the end comes with terrifying speed. It relies on a venom packed with sphingomyelinase D, which is a potent enzyme that melts tissue almost instantly. Smaller insects or competing spiders have no time to fight back. Within mere seconds, the chemical cocktail paralyzes the victim, turning it into a motionless meal. This efficiency is necessary for a nocturnal hunter that prefers to overpower its prey through brute force and biological warfare rather than silk traps. While it usually avoids people, a single accidental squeeze against a piece of clothing can release that same lethal liquid into a human.
And many times they live alongside people without them ever knowing, but don't underestimate them.
The result is a necrotic wound that eats away at the skin. In some cases, it triggers total kidney failure. In the small world of cracks and crevices, this arachnid reigns as a silent, lightning-fast executioner. Number 12. The Noble False Widow. In the dark corners of your garage, a skull-shaped pattern watches from the shadows, waiting for the slightest vibration to signal a kill. This is the noble false widow, a glossy predator that has migrated far from its native home in the Canary Islands to conquer urban structures across the globe. With a bulbous abdomen which reaches over half an inch in length, this arachnid does not rely on luck. It builds a complex scaffold of tangled silk with a hidden tube where it sits in total darkness. When a victim touches the web, the spider moves with a frantic mechanical speed. It performs an attack wrap by flinging thick silk over its target until the prey is completely pinned. Once the struggle slows, it delivers a bite loaded with latrotoxins. These neurotoxins are chemically similar to those of a black widow, hitting the nervous system of an insect with enough force to cause paralysis within a matter of seconds. This spider can actually calculate its venom dosage, as this ensures it never wastes its biological weapons while taking down creatures much larger than itself. While human encounters are usually just painful accidents, for a cricket or a rival spider, this encounter ends in a swift and permanent biological shutdown. Number 11. Redback spider. The Australian redback is a master of the urban landscape, which is identifiable by the unmistakable orange or red stripe slashed across its glossy black abdomen, while the tiny brownish males are practically harmless. The females grow to nearly half an inch and possess a chemical arsenal designed for total biological shutdown. They thrive in dry, sheltered pockets near human homes, where they spin messy, tangled webs with sticky trip lines that dangle toward the ground. When a beetle or even a small lizard brushes against these invisible threads, the reaction is immediate. The redback rushes forward to blast the victim with thick, gluey silk, pinning its limbs before delivering a series of surgical bites. Her venom is a complex mixture of alpha-latrotoxin that floods the nervous system of the prey. This massive release of neurotransmitters triggers paralysis in mere seconds or minutes, ensuring the meal cannot fight back or escape. Now, before a reliable antivenom was developed in 1956, these spiders were linked to at least 14 confirmed deaths. Even today, a bite from a female causes agonizing muscle spasms and profuse sweating in humans, though her primary goal remains the rapid liquefaction of her insect victims. Number 10. The Arizona bark scorpion. The Arizona bark scorpion is a slender, light brown predator that reaches about 3 inches in length. But its small size hides the fact that it is the most venomous scorpion in North America.
Scorpions are shy, nocturnal animals that usually lie in wait for their prey.
Unlike many of its cousins, this arachnid is an expert climber that moves up walls and trees with ease. It often finds its way into human homes, hiding in the dark safety of wood piles or the inside of a stray shoe. Once night falls, it uses specialized sensitive hairs to feel the tiny vibrations of a passing cricket or roach. The moment its prey is within reach, the scorpion snaps its thin pincers shut and whips its segmented tail forward. The sting delivers a neurotoxin filled with sodium channel modulators that instantly flood the victim's nervous system. This chemical strike causes immediate paralysis in mere seconds, turning a struggling insect into a motionless meal before it can even react. In the harsh environment of the southwestern United States and Mexico, this speed is vital for survival. While a sting causes intense pain, convulsions, and breathing problems for humans, it represents a definitive and lightning-fast end for anything smaller. Number 9. The northern tree-dwelling funnel web spider.
It's already one of the most dangerous spiders in the world, and tonight a funnel web found in Newcastle is making history.
High above the forest floor of eastern Australia, a glossy black shadow waits inside a hollow tree for the slightest tremble of silk. This is the northern tree-dwelling funnel web spider, a massive arachnid that can reach nearly 2 inches in body length. While most people look at the ground for danger, this predator lives in the heights where it builds silk-lined tunnels inside rotting logs or rough bark as high as 98 feet in the air. It does not just wait for insects. Its radiating trip lines are designed to catch larger targets like skinks, geckos, or even frogs.
They are dangerous. Arguably, they are one of the most venomous spiders in the world.
When a victim touches the line, the spider lunges with an explosive burst of speed. Its downward-pointing fangs deliver a heavy dose of delta atracotoxins, a neurotoxin so violent that it overwhelms the nervous system almost instantly. For a small vertebrate or a beetle, total paralysis often takes hold in mere seconds, leaving no time for a struggle. This rapid execution is necessary for a hunter living high above the ground where a falling meal is a lost meal. If they feel threatened by a human, they do not retreat. Instead, they rise up on their back legs, bearing fangs which are often dripping with visible beads of clear venom. The sheer size of this spider allows it to carry a massive venom yield, ensuring that whatever it bites stays exactly where it was caught. Number 8. The camel spider.
Katie, well, here it is. The common name is the camel spider or wind scorpion, yes.
The camel spider has terrified people for centuries with its alien appearance. It can reach nearly 6 inches in length when you count its legs, but its most horrifying feature is its mouth. Its massive jaws make up 1/3 of its entire body, and it's shaped like a serrated beak, which is designed to shear through skin, feathers, and even thin bone. Unlike almost every other deadly arachnid, this predator does not have a single drop of venom. It does not need it. Instead, it relies on terrifying mechanical force and a top speed of 10 miles per hour. This makes it one of the fastest moving arachnids on the planet as it chases down lizards, rodents, or small birds. When it catches a victim, it uses sticky appendages to hold them tight while those chopping jaws go to work. It can decapitate or dismember its prey in seconds by using a brutal sawing motion to turn solid tissue into liquid pulp. This savage efficiency allows the camel spider to dominate the deserts of the Middle East and the southwestern United States. While its bite is not lethal to humans, the sheer physical power it uses to end a life in an instant is a marvel of biological violence. Number 7. Six-eyed sand spider. Imagine a spider that can go a year without eating, waiting in a shallow grave for the perfect moment to kill. This is the six-eyed sand spider, a master of disguise that hides beneath the shifting dunes of southern Africa.
They don't move, they don't do anything. And as you can see there, he's completely covered up. And what they rely on is for prey to come to them.
Its body is flat and shaped like a crab. Adults measure between 0.31 and 0.59 inches long, with a leg span that reaches nearly 2 inches. To stay hidden, this creature has evolved a body covered in tiny, stiff hairs, which trap sand particles against its skin and matches the yellowish-brown or reddish soil perfectly. Unlike most of its kind, it navigates the world with only 6 eyes, which are arranged in 3 pairs. This provides a low field of vision suited to detecting ground vibration. It does not waste energy spinning webs. Instead, it burrows just beneath the surface and waits for an insect or scorpion to stumble too close. When the moment is right, it lunges with a speed which is almost impossible to track. While it is naturally shy and avoids people at all costs, the chemicals inside its fangs are terrifying. Its venom contains a toxin that can dissolve blood vessels and liquefy tissue of the prey, much like a recluse spider, but potentially far more powerful. In laboratory settings, this venom has killed rabbits in as little as 5 to 12 hours by causing massive internal bleeding and organ failure. Despite this grim reality, there has never been a single confirmed case of a human being bitten by one in southern Africa. Number 6. The Trapdoor spider. Its home is a tomb it builds for others. This spider is a master of siege warfare, and its fortress is a silk-lined burrow with a single deadly entrance.
So if I get a stick and I just lever it up, you can see, yeah, in there, you see it?
The trapdoor spider is a stocky, dark hunter, a bristling, 8-legged secret buried in the warm soils of American deserts or Australian grasslands. It digs a tunnel nearly a foot deep and then constructs a perfect hidden hatch from dirt and leaves. This lid is hinged with silk. The spider waits below, claws holding the door shut, feeling every footfall. When a beetle or cricket steps over the threshold, the attack is a violent blur. The door flies open. In less than a second, powerful, downward striking fangs seize the prey and drag it into the dark. Its specialized venom, a mixture of insecticidal peptides, acts with frightening speed. Small arthropods are flooded with flaccid paralysis in minutes, their bodies beginning to digest even as the struggle ends. This is not a chase. It is a perfect, energy-efficient ambush executed in heartbeats. For humans, a bite is uncommon and typically mild, but for any insect that triggers those vibrations, it is a near-instant end. Some female spiders live in that same burrow, a silent predator in its tiny kingdom, for 20 years. Number 5. Goliath birdeater. In the humid darkness of the South American rainforest, a faint hissing sound cuts through the heavy air. This isn't a snake or a territorial mammal. It is the sound of a Goliath bird-eater rubbing its legs together to warn you that you have wandered too close. If you ignore this signal, the creature will rear back to expose fangs which measure over 1.5 inches long. These powerful mouthparts can easily puncture skin, though the true danger often comes from the barbed hairs it kicks into the air. These microscopic needles can lodge into your eyes and throat, causing a burning sensation that can last for days. The scale of this predator is difficult to grasp until you see it covering the surface of a 12-inch dinner plate. Weighing more than 6 ounces, this is the heaviest spider on the planet. It avoids the light and prefers to spend its days in deep burrows lined with thick silk. But once the sun sets, it transforms into an apex ambush hunter. It does not rely on sight to find its next meal. Instead, it feels the ground through specialized hairs which pick up the slightest movements of passing animals. While its name suggests a diet of birds, this title comes from a famous engraving created in the 18th century. In reality, this tarantula is an opportunistic feeder which stalks the forest floor for large insects, frogs, and earthworms. It has even been known to take down small snakes or rodents. Once the Goliath bird-eater strikes, it injects venom to freeze the victim in place. To eat, the spider must vomit digestive enzymes directly onto its prey, which in turn melts the muscle and organs into a liquid slurry. The spider then drinks this remains. Finding one of these giants in the marshes of Brazil or Venezuela is a terrifying experience for any traveler, as its hissing can be heard from several feet away. Number 4. Huntsman spider. In the time it takes you to blink, the Huntsman spider has already crossed the room and claimed its next victim. It lives in the shadows of Australian homes and deep within Asian forests, a creature with legs that can span nearly half a foot. Its body is flattened, built low to the ground with crab-like legs, which allows it to scuttle sideways in shocking sudden bursts. It can move over 3 feet in a single second. This is a speed that makes it one of the fastest arachnids on the planet. It hunts by sight and vibration, exploding from ambush or launching into direct pursuit. Cockroaches, crickets, and even small lizards are caught in a vice grip from powerful fangs before they can react. The spider's venom acts with ruthless speed on invertebrates. It is a mild neurotoxin that floods the nervous system, causing almost instant paralysis. The victim is immobilized in seconds, its tissues already beginning to liquefy from digestive enzymes. This guarantees an efficient kill, ending any struggle before it truly begins. Despite their size, these spiders are surprisingly timid. If they are cornered by humans, they might deliver a bite that feels like a sharp sting which will result in some swelling or mild nausea, but they pose no real medical threat to people. Number 3. Black widow. Imagine the fastest you've ever moved. Now imagine a toxin that acts 10 times faster. This isn't science fiction. It's the daily reality for any creature crossing the path of the black widow. Forget its familiar look, that glossy black body and red hourglass. The true horror hides in its bite, a neurotoxin designed for instantaneous neurological chaos.
It is dangerous. This is a spider you definitely need to have respect for, but you don't need to be afraid of it.
When it strikes, the venom hijacks the nervous system of its prey, forcing every nerve to fire at once in a devastating cascade. Complete paralysis follows within seconds. A beetle or grasshopper is often dead in under a minute. This speed is its ultimate weapon. The spider itself is a patient shadow living in silent places like woodpiles, garages, or under rocks all over North America. Its messy, tangled web is a death trap. She waits perfectly still, feeling for vibrations from trapped insects, even other spiders or small scorpions. The moment she senses them, she moves. One precise bite delivers her chemical curse. With her victim frozen, she can safely wrap it in silk. This terrifying efficiency lets a spider barely half an inch long take down meals much larger than itself, a silent predator ending lives in the literal blink of an eye. Number 2. Sydney funnel web. Most spiders flee from humans, but the Sydney funnel web is the violent exception. It does not run from a fight. Instead, it rises on its back legs, bearing fangs that are strong enough to pierce through a leather shoe or even a fingernail. These predators, which are native to Australia, build silk tunnels under rocks or fallen logs, stretching out invisible tripwires that act like a motion alarm. When a beetle or a small lizard brushes against those threads, the strike occurs in an instant. It bursts from its burrow at shocking speed, rears up and bites repeatedly. Its venom is packed with powerful neurotoxins known as delta atrachotoxins. These chemicals attack sodium channels in the nervous system, sending the body into uncontrolled overstimulation before shutting it down. For prey, this means paralysis in seconds, followed by death within minutes as breathing or heart function fails. This speed gives the spider a huge advantage. Victims have almost no chance to fight back or escape before being wrapped in silk for later feeding. The same venom once made bites extremely dangerous to humans, with severe symptoms appearing in less than half an hour before antivenom was introduced in 1981. A high venom output and a quick defensive nature only add to its danger, locking in its status as one of the fastest and most lethal hunters in the spider world. Number 1. Brazilian wandering spiders. Imagine a 4-hour medical emergency that begins with an excruciating, involuntary erection. This is the reality of a bite from one of the world's most venomous arachnids, the Brazilian wandering spider. It thrives in the humid forests of South America and occasionally hitches a ride into your home via a bunch of bananas. Unlike spiders that sit patiently in a web, this aggressive predator stalks the ground at night with terrifying speed. It can grow a leg span of up to 7 inches, and this makes it a formidable hunter that takes down everything from large crickets to small lizards and mice. What makes this spider truly dangerous is how fast its venom works.
When we're talking pure LD50, the lethal dose of venom, no other spider comes close.
A bite releases a powerful blend of neurotoxins, including compounds like PHTX3 that attack multiple nerve channels at once. Calcium, sodium, and potassium signals are disrupted almost immediately. This causes a sudden flood of nerve activity followed by total shutdown. In prey, the effects are instant. Muscles seize, coordination vanishes, and breathing can stop in seconds or within a minute. Few spiders can disable and kill prey this quickly. That speed gives the wandering spider a major edge. Victims have no real chance to escape or fight back, even if they are much larger than the spider itself. The risk of injury is low and the payoff is high. These 8-legged hunters are masters of concealment as they hide inside shoes, cars, or fruit shipments, waiting for the moment they are accidentally disturbed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.